Hey, YouTube land. So, you may know or you may not know, but I purchased a Branson 4815H. And I thought I would talk about it a little bit and give you a quick review. I got a little over 7 hours on it when I bought it. Did all my research and decided this was the best tractor for me, and I'm absolutely in love with it. There are a couple things that I'll point out that could probably use some improvement. So if Branson Tractors happens to hear this, they could certainly take it and do what they wish. But let me start up here in the front. So I've got a standard bucket. When I bought this tractor, I brought the tractor and the front end loader, and it cost me just under $30,000. So you can use that as you want, as you do your own research to determine what kind of tractor you want. I did happen to have the dealer add the third function valve on it. It cost me just about $1,000 to have that added on. But I know that one of my first implements I want is a root rake grapple, and that I'm going to need that. So when I had them install it, here's where they actually put the third function valve, right here. And then they had to change out the original knob that was here to a new knob, or to a new holder that has your third function switch right here. You can see. I actually like the looks of that knob better than the old one. The old one was just kind of like a ball that kind of stuck out there. The only drawback on this installation, I think, but it's more aesthetic, is the fact that these hoses pop up. So there's some exposure here to branches or other things that could potentially pull on it. But other than that, I'm looking forward to getting my implements and beginning to use them. I have had lots of use of my bucket already as I start to clear out my land. You can see I got plenty of it here. Got about 4 acres. I guess not plenty compared to a lot of you homesteaders, but enough for me. So this front end loader comes with a kickstand. If I want to bring it down and take the front end loader off for any reason, I don't see any reason why I'm ever going to do that, but it's there if I need to, should I put something else on. So one thing of note, if you're a Branson tractor owner, if not, you'll find this interesting. When you pull open the brush guard, there's a clip right here. You just pull on that latch and the hood opens up. So you have really nice access to the entire engine manifold. There's your DPF that you'll need to use. This is a 4-cycle engine. I have the 48 horsepower, as I told you, 4815 series. So it has a 4-cycle engine, but really easy access. I've already had to clean the screen. So when you come over to this side, you'll see there's a little pin here. Pin comes out. Just like that. And there's a screen that comes out. You just blow that out. I just use my blower, my gas blower, and just blow it out. Slide that puppy back in. Put the pin back in. It's good as new. So, relatively easy access. If you really need more access, you can just take the front end loader off itself, and then you can really see how much room you'll have. So something else, see if it'll stay here. There you go. So Branson did a 2022 mid-cycle review update to their tractors. So this is the new front grille of your Branson tractor. The other ones, the lights were seemed a bit droopier than these. These are much more pronounced with almost like an angry look. I kind of like that. In fact, the dealer had both set versions on the tractor, of the tractor, and I told him I wanted this one because I like the look much better than the other one. And the lights, are really nice. They're HID. I don't think they're LED. They look like HID lights from a car. Very nice. That's your low beam. And there's your high beams. So lots of light. I really like. I have already driven it at night, so I have found that useful. Along with the front end update, they also updated this portion of the cab. This portion here was much thinner on the other version. This one seems a bit more stocky with some beef on either side, which is also something I like. Yes, it's raining right now, but I wanted to get this done and get it out because I haven't found any Branson 4815 reviews at all on YouTube, or anything else for that matter. And I wanted to try and get one out for anybody else who might be looking to get a new tractor and they're doing their own research. So the Branson tractors use a forward pedal and a reverse pedal. Rather than, I'm kind of used to a Kubota. I got a neighbor who uses let me borrow his Kubota. It took me a while to get used to this, but I'm used to it now, and so it didn't take long for that to happen. The seat slides up and back. Not necessarily a negative, but you will have to slide the seat forward to use the tractor and backwards to get out, because it's a relatively tight cockpit, which is not a bad thing. Branson also put in tilt steering. This is where one of my negatives come into play. The tilt steering, I usually have it all the way up so I can see my gauges really nice when I sit up forward. But if you go to get out of the tractor, I tend to always grab on the wheel and pull, and when I do that, it'll very easily, as you just heard, fall out of the detents. So I have to find other ways to get in and out, which, I mean, there's handles here, but it's not the first thing you think about grabbing when you want to necessarily get off the tractor. So a couple other 2022 mid-cycle updates right here. There was a toolbox that came with the tractor, which was really nice. I've already broken it. It's plastic and needs to get replaced. I don't know if I want to replace it with another plastic one or if I'm going to try and upgrade it to something more sturdy. But they came with one, and that's a good thing. As I see a lot of people try and do aftermarket additions and stuff. The other thing that they've done is they've added a rear work light, which is right here, which is just switch operated right here in the back, on the back side. The operating manual doesn't have any documentation on the work light itself, and it actually took me a while to figure out how to turn the light on. I couldn't find a switch up in the cockpit or anything like that, and lo and behold, it's actually on the light itself. So that's pretty cool. One of the other major drawbacks to me is the fact that the tank on this thirsty beast is the same 7.5 gallon tank that they have on their 25 horsepower 15 series tractor. If there was anything that Branson was going to do to this tractor to make it a real beast, is to actually give it a decent size diesel tank. Because I find myself very quickly, like within a couple of hours, I'm needing to put diesel in it, where my neighbor's Kubota, I could pretty much fill it up and it would run almost all day, it would seem, without much of an issue. So there's also a cup holder for those of you who need a cup. You will want to, however, drill a hole if you want water to drain out of it, because it comes without a hole in it, and if you leave it out in the rain, it will certainly get filled with water. Standard Branson stuff. Here's where your four-wheel drive changes. This is your low, high, medium, and high range change. Your PTO, your park and brake, your DPF button, and things of that nature. Your throttle is right here. So throttle up, throttle down. And I did happen to watch a review of a Branson tractor by a gentleman who just bought it within the last year, I thought. And he complained about the seat belts. And his seat belt didn't have the retractable mount to it. So whether that's a 2022 update or not, that mid-cycle refresh I was telling you about or not, I don't know. But the good news is at least this particular tractor has the retractable seat belt. The cockpit seat here has a nice suspension system. You can change it based on your weight. You'll see an indicator right here to say, you know, whether you're a lightweight or a heavyweight. I'm actually not that light. I weigh just over 200 pounds, and I pretty much have it almost all the way over. It provides a good amount of protection, so to speak, for when you hit those big bumps and stuff. Two other things for you that I noticed. They do have a guard over top of the hydraulic lines right here, which will come in very handy based on the type of work that you might do and protect your hydraulic lines. And then your ROPS, right? Your rollover protection system. You notice I have mine folded down. This tractor will fit in my garage, but I need to have the ROPS folded down and not up. But it will fit in your garage. So I think that's about it. So hit me up with some comments or questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. And don't forget to subscribe and like my video. Thanks.